Hi, I'm John McGuire. I'm the product manager for Global Search, and I have with me CZ, who is our engineering manager, who works with me on Global Search. We're going to take you through some of the changes and improvements that we're planning for GitLab 14.7 that's coming up. Um, we have been working on refreshing and building out a lot of different features in the header where you have the search bar, as well as some drop downs when you actually get to the search result page. And it's really kind of a great milestone for us that we're completing our efforts and revving that up and improving it with this last final header change feature flag that's being enabled. So with this, we'll have all of the new features that we've been planning available and turned on in 14.7. It's faster. It gives more accurate autocomplete results. It has better descriptions and better sizing. There are a lot of changes that really are completed with this total change. So definitely interested in seeing the improvements that you've had with using the GitLab header and the search bar and the features that are connected to that. This has been a several month long iterative process that we've been completing and working through, and this will be 14.7 really does tie up the end with the last piece of it with this feature flag going out. So we're really excited for that. And a special call out to our developer, Zach, who had worked in most cases very much single-handedly on this. He's done a great job getting us through a lot of the organization that's been needed for this. So I really am appreciative of the work that he's done with us to get the new header completed for search. This is a list if you're interested in seeing all of the things that Zach had really led the effort of working on to kind of get these things done. In here you have specific pieces that talk about making GitLab more accessible, new features that have been completed, improved UX and UI. There actually are quite a bit of details of what we've completed over this time frame. So thank you for that, Zach. And then moving on to the other things that we're changing in 14.7, we have commits. So we've been moving a lot of the different scopes into their own indexes, and we've seen great performance improvements with that. Generally, when we do this, we see performance improvements in the scope that we've moved out. They usually greatly improve. And then we see a little bit, or sometimes even more, performance improvements that happen on doing blob searches or code searches, because that is the index that remains is primarily going to be the code that we're searching. So moving commits out, we expect to see the same type of performance improvements. And if you haven't been using GitLab.com, we've seen like 4x, maybe even 5x improvement in the speed of search results coming back within the last 12 months from this and some of the other changes that we had been making, including one of the bigger changes that we'd recommend is the upgrading to the more recent versions of Elasticsearch. We saw great improvement with that. Speaking of Elasticsearch, we are bimodally compatible at this point. We've had some customers that have reached out to us and told us that they're using OpenSearch or they plan to use OpenSearch. And our intent is not to in any way limit customers to only use Elasticsearch. There's a brief history on that is that Elasticsearch was forked in version 7.10. AWS created their own version, and that is now called OpenSearch. And we have customers that are successfully using OpenSearch. To catch up with that, we are wanting to really ensure and test to see as we're going through our iterations and changes that we can detect any type of OpenSearch issues that may occur. So we're now putting in place our OpenSearch testing framework so that we can start to see any details that might change and detect any problems and correct them and at least have a better insight into what happens there as this version evolves separately from Elasticsearch. And CZ is going to explain a little bit of details on the next change that we have coming.
Thank you, John. So another effort we are going to do on the testing front is to improve the efficiency on how we use Elasticsearch in our pipelines. Right now, in our testing pipeline, we have to start, turn it on and off a few times. Each time when we turn it on, then we have to maybe wait until the Elasticsearch instance to be ready. So we hope to reduce the time that we have to turn it off and on, back on again. And so in order to do that, we hope it can improve the experience of our development and testing for our engineers. That's the purpose for this effort. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this will, in some cases, I think we have Elasticsearch testing that can take, I don't know if it's in here, but it takes like almost 15 minutes, I think, to run a full cycle. And, getting this decreased down to something that's, in a 60-second time frame or less is tremendous, and being able to add performance back to the pipelines. And so this is a great overall improvement, not just for the Elasticsearch piece, but also for, kind of creating efficiencies across the use of the pipeline. Really great. Okay, and that's what we're planning for 14.7. So thank you, and I hope you really enjoy the new changes that are coming out with the header. Definitely am always open to getting your feedback on that and understanding what you think we should be doing next to make additional improvements there. Thank you.
Thank you.